Lights go dim, drama's high, hearts are race. Feel the heat, feel the pace. Speed and thrill, never slow. Champions rise, they all know. In the night, we come alive. SKR, we will drive. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned. Dayton's night, under lights. Every turn, every fight. Pulses racing, here we go. SKR, steal the show. Rev it up, race it fast. Living dreams as we blast. On this night, we won't rest. SKR, we're the best. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. SKR at 6. Fix. SKR at 6. Feel the rush, feel the kicks. On the track, we survive. SKR, we thrive. The best. Tires burn on the bends. Rivals clash, no amends. Cheering crowd, feel the sound. SKR, world renowned.
In the quiet lanes of Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Bajo luces de neón y gritos de motores, ella es la guardiana, sueños de velocidad. Con school y vuelo alienígena en la casa, es la calma en la tormenta, nuestra guía sin igual. André a su lado, leal y fuerte, su amor ha corrido desde siempre. Pero la hermandad guarda en su pecho, con cada risa su amor es derecho. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del clan, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Será tímida, pero no es orgullo. Mira su school y anda en el del tumulto. Mira en silencio, ruge en la pista, en cada circuito, en cada conquista. Giros de medianoche al alba primera, ella está ahí sosteniendo la bandera. Ningún choque profundo, ninguna curva ancla, con su espíritu subimos, subimos la cima. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del clan, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Solo una fan, nacida de un legado, en tormentas de F1 su calor nos ha guiado. Feroz e invisible, manteniendo la línea, por siempre monarca nuestra Death Queen divina. Oh, Death Queen, corazón del clan, con cada lágrima levanta los miedos, arrasa el plan. Su voz suave, tu luz sin fin, alfombrosa por reina en el confín. Oh, Death Queen, sombras en júbilo, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación. Sí, oh, Death Queen, eres la reina de nuestro equipo de simulación.
He rolls to the grid, eye sharp as a blade. A storm in the cockpit, never afraid. Teammates tremble, they can't keep pace. Max takes the wheel, owns every race. From car to crown, he carved his way. A predator born to slay the day. The records fall, the doubters fade. A legend's forged, the price is paid. Max Verstappen, king of the fight. Burning the track in the dead of night. Outruns the pack, leaves them behind. Fastest heart with a mastermind. Not the quickest car, but he still shines. Bends the rules, rewrites the lines. Max Verstappen, hear the roar. The champ who always begs for more. Our bond, they tried their best, but Max just laughs, aces the test. He dances through corners, a devil's art. Tears up the field, rips it apart. Red Bull's wings, they used to soar. Now it's Max who evens the score. The car's not prime, the rivals grin, but he still finds a way to win. Max Verstappen, king of the fight. Burning the track in the dead of night. Outruns the pack, leaves them behind. Fastest heart with a mastermind. Not the quickest car, but he still shines. Bends the rules, rewrites the lines. Max Verstappen, hear the roar. The champ who always begs for more. Monaco streets,
Monza's roaring, the Tifosi's wild, engines on fire, crowds going wild. Leclerc's in red, he's hunting the lead, but McLaren's up front, they're pushing for speed. Turn one's a riot, Max dives in tight, nearly clips Norris, it's a heart-stopping sight. Lando's on radio, voice full of dread. Max, you maniac, you're messing with my head. Way too close, Lando screams on the mic. That's dangerous, Max, he don't like. Ferrari's pits used to fumble and fall, but McLaren's crew, they're dropping the ball. Monza meltdown, crank that track. McLaren's flipping, they're falling back. Pit crews tripping, tires on straight. Radios wailing, you ruined our day. Max is a legend in a car that's half gone. King of the speed, he's racing it on. Monza meltdown, feel that beat. Mock those McLarens, let's dance in the heat. Storming, he's got Ferrari pride. One-stop genius, he's taking the ride. Norris is fuming, back on the air. Max, you idiot, that move ain't fair. Verstappen's car's battling, it's barely alive, yet he's out front with that champion drive. Alonso's out, his Aston's a wreck. Unbelievable, he yells, what the heck? Illegal move, Lando's ranting again. Max is dodgy, but Max don't bend. McLaren's pits, they're a total disgrace. Ferrari's old chaos, McLaren's new face. Monza meltdown, crank that track. McLaren's flipping, they're falling back. Pit crews tripping, tires gone astray. Radios wailing, you ruined our day. Max is a legend in a car that's half gone. King of the speed, he's racing it on. Monza meltdown, feel that beat. Mock those McLarens, let's dance in the heat. Circus, McLaren's a mess. Wheels not on, Lando screams distress. Radio's buzzing, you're killing our shot. McLaren's fits front like Ferrari's old plot. Max is a sorcerer, his car's falling apart, but he's weaving through Monza with a lion's heart. Hamilton's stuck, he's lost in the pack. Monza's a party, Max owns the track. Monza meltdown, crank that track. McLaren's flipping, they're falling back. Pit crews tripping, tires gone astray. Radios wailing, you ruined our day. Max is a legend in a car that's half gone. King of the speed, he's racing it on. Monza meltdown, feel that beat. Mock those McLarens, let's dance in the heat. Monza's alive, Tifosi's in a craze. Leclerc's a hero, but Max gets the praise. McLaren's pits, they're a laugh and a cry. Nice one, team, Lando sarcastic goodbye. Monza meltdown, we're grooving tonight. Max rules the temple, keep the vibe feeling right. Rev it, spin it, let's race to the stars. Monza meltdown, this beat's ours. Drop the bass, like before, let's dance.
Let me spin you a tale about a race car driver, George Russell by name. He's quick on the track, but don't get too excited, cause when it comes to greatness, well, he's not quite knighted. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fake. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. He's got the helmet, he's got the car, but when it comes to win, he's not quite up to par. He's got the look like Woody with a cowboy hat, but when he's in the pit, you'll see him shed a tear stack. Now don't get me wrong, he's got some skill, but when you're talking about the best, he's not in that middle. He'll race you hard, give you quite the fright, but in the end he's more known for his tears at night. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, he's got the speed, but not the fate. Oh George, he looks like Woody from Toy Story, that's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, oh how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run. He's good, but not that great. Oh George, He's got the speed, but not the faith. Oh George, oh George. He looks like Woody from Toy Story. That's no lie. And when the race goes wrong, how that boy can cry. So here's to George, with his heart on his sleeve. In the world of Formula One, he's got a lot to achieve. He might not be the champ, but he sure is fun. So let's give a cheer for George, our Woody on the run.
Daniil came roaring, a Russian with a spark. Toro Rosso's fire lit up the track in the dark. Promised Red Bull's big seat, he flew in 2015. But Sochi's crash sent him down, Max stole the dream. Back to Toro he went with a "we'll call you lie." Twice they cut him loose, left him high and dry. Helmut's cold handshake, Christian sideways grin. Daniil kept fighting, but the deck was stacked to win. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. Pierre was the next kid with a smile bright as day. Toro Rosso star Bahrain's foreshowed the way. Red Bull called him up, said, "Son, you're the one." But Max's shadow crushed him. 12 races, he was done. Sent back to Toro, told he'd get another shot, but the phone stayed silent, left Pierre in a nod. Jamie and Sebastian, they felt that same old sting. Promised Toro saddle, but Red Bull clipped their wings. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but then lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. Brendan waited 9 years for a shot to shine, but Toro chewed him up, spit him out by design. Liam got 2 races, thought he'd earn his place. Red Bull said, "Back to Bulls, you're losing this race." Carlos got a loan, I never saw Red Bull again. Now he's winning elsewhere, leaving Helmut in pain. They dangle that seat like a carrot on a string, but when you reach for glory, you're left with nothing but sting. Red Bull's wings, they lift you up, then crash you to the ground. Promise seats and glory, but them lies keep spinning around. From Daniel to Pierre, Alex and more, they fell. Red Bull's driver graveyard, where dreams go to dwell. So here's to the drivers.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SKR on a Sunday night. Not night yet, is it? Still sun out. Days getting longer and longer as we're going into summer, and this race feels earlier and earlier. Just finished the Italian Grand Prix in Monza a few hours ago. Now these drivers are going to get an opportunity to have a go at the Temple of Speed. The circuit 103 years old on the outskirts of Milan. Circuit that's been here a very, very, very long time. Of course, in its original full format, this track is 10 kilometers. Of course, that is the current GP circuit with the addition of the oval together. Exactly a 10-kilometer circuit. We're not racing on that crazy oval tonight, just the normal GP circuit of 5.7 kilometers around this circuit. It needs no introduction. Circuit that's all about speed. That's why it's called the Temple of Speed. I can tell you that most of these drivers are going to be running very, very low downforce. Of course, that'll give you maximum speed down the straights, which is crucially important at a circuit like Monza. But on the other hand, having very, very little downforce makes it a very, very nervous car. And any little mistake could be your last. Max Verstappen breaking a few records this weekend. The pole position, and that also happened to be the fastest lap in F1 history. That doesn't make sense to you because the lap around Monza is shorter. Well, it's not about the time, it's about the average speed around the circuit. Fastest pole lap in history. Then obviously went on to win the race today, and on average speed, today was the shortest Grand Prix of all time. Another record in the books for the McLaren duo of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. It's now a total of 27 podium positions in the 2025 season. That means they go past the famous duo of Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. All the way back in 1988. This is Andre, first driver to go over the line of 119.3. That's exactly why I don't race here. Did a race around this circuit on Friday night. My qualifying time, well, I'm not going to say mine. Maybe I'll say it later. If anyone was slower than my time, then I'll mention my time. Look who's in the lobby. In the Williams. Or one of the two Williams. We have Death Queen making a second appearance, of course. Had a race last week. Points on debut in the sprint race. Then went on to take a podium on debut in the feature race. Monza, very different race circuit. Like I said, a circuit all about speed. As little downforce as you can put on the car, and that in turn leads to a very nervous looking car. We're saying he managed a 117.7 around here about 2 days ago, and that is just confirmation that I will not be mentioning my lap time on Friday night, because 117, that's just shocking. Starting to get times now over the line. Jonas 118.3 is the fastest time we've seen so far by quite some margin. 0.7 of a second cover that front row. We've got Skull in P2, followed by Pantry Star, Gunner, Glitch. We've got Andre in P6, Captain Slow P7, Nismo P8. Those are the drivers that have done lap times. Top Gun also P10. Levy pops the second horse up into P5. Still waiting for lap times from Skulk. He's on an out lap. Waiting for lap times from Cooper and Spikes. They are out on quick laps. Death Queen remains in the pits for now. Welcome to Wheeze in the comment section. Welcome to Dixie Killer in the comment section. Death Queen was in the comment section. Death Queen is now... Where is Death Queen? Death Queen is sitting in the pits. Up to the field, it's about Jonas and Spikes. The only two drivers in the 118s, but still quite a gap between the two. A 118.3 versus a 118.7. Lap times will get closer as qualifying goes on. Push that a little harder as the session goes on, as the time ticks down. Start taking a few more risks. And race engineer for Death Queen. What a race engineer to have tonight. It's not Wheeze. That was the race engineer last week. Race engineer tonight. Big D. We've all heard of him. Another driver that's been having a strong run in F1 of late, Alex Albon. In the last 5 races, Lewis Hamilton has gone on to score 26 points. Alex Albon, in the same amount of races, has gone on to score 28. Fantastic run by the Williams driver. I mentioned the Williams driver because you're looking at a Williams driver. That is Skull. Top of the 2 Williams. We haven't seen a lap time from the second Williams. I'm not sure if we're going to see a lap time from the second Williams. A lot of drivers now in the pits. Just over 9.5 minutes remaining in the session. We're looking at one of the 2 Aston Martins, 119.9. That's for Skulk. If I did manage to put my qualifying time into this timing sheet, well, I'd be dead last. Bring up a little bit of info on your screens, of course. Nothing dramatic in the tyres column. Everybody on the soft compounded tyre. That's the fastest tyre around the circuit. Wonder, actually ask Wheeze is in the comment section. Wheeze, what kind of tyre degradation can we expect here in Monza? Of course, we saw this afternoon that the cars just, the tyres rather, just weren't degrading in Monza. That's something we can expect from the game, or tyre degradation going to play a much more important part in this race than what it did earlier this afternoon. Jonas 18.3, still the quickest driver out there. He's on an out lap looking for an improvement. Another driver looking for an improvement is the driver in P2, 18.7. Needs to find himself another half a second if he's just going to put himself next to Jonas. Needs to find a little more than that if he's going to take pole position, and we know Jonas gets quicker and quicker as the session goes on. We saying it will be a one-stop. There will need to be tyre management. The possibility of last lap punctures. That's the prediction coming through in the comment section. Drivers will be stretching these tyres. As I've said many times on this channel, all of these strategies can all go out the window after just one safety car for a terrible, terrible turn one. And when it comes to terrible, terrible turn ones, well, Monza is right up there with the best of them. Or should I say, the worst of them. We're looking at one of the two Ferraris. Dixie Killer saying he's going to bed in his Red Bull t-shirt tonight. I too am wearing my Red Bull t-shirt. I'm wearing my Max Verstappen cap. I am fully kitted out in my Red Bull gear. Although, while I'm doing this stream, I'm not quite so sure how Helmut Marko would feel. I'm fully kitted out in Red Bull and I'm drinking a Monster. This is a conflict of interest. Jonas still the quickest, and he's gone quicker. Look at that. It was 18.3. I said Spikes was going to have to find half a second. He's going to have to find a whole lot more. Jonas now puts it at an 18.0, getting dangerously close there to the 17s. I'm sure we're going to see a 17 before this session is over. Spikes on an out lap, looking for an improvement. It's going to have to be a big one. Got another two drivers since then that have joined the 118s. 118.9 and a 118.9 apiece for Pantry Star and Levy in 3 and 4. Nothing separating that second row. But the front row, Jonas very much on his own for the time being. Jonas. This will run and into the pits. 18.0. Still got enough time to come out and do another one. Ryan tipped that time into the 117s. We're looking at Spikes. 18.7 is his best time. Second fastest driver on the circuit. Where does he find the time? 7/10. It's not something small. Looking at Spikes, of course, he's trying to improve on that lap time. Currently in P2, trying to get closer to the leader, trying to take pole. But if he's going to take pole, he's going to have to do an incredible lap time, because it's going to be a 1 minute 17 or a very, very, very low 1 minute 18. Jonas again. What do you think? Are we going to see a 117 before the session is over? Just two cars out on the track. One of them is Nisbo, 119.3. He's returning to the pits. The other driver out on track is the driver currently in P2. We join him as he goes into Parabolica, such an important corner. You want to get on the inside of the corner and then just use all of the racetrack on the exit to the inside of the circuit just to take out a few meters of that lap. And a 118.6, a good improvement, not enough. Previous best 118.7, current best 118.6. Well, another 6.5 tenths away from where he'd like to be. Pantry Star currently in the pits, everyone in the pits. Gunner on an out lap, Death Queen's on an out lap. Wasn't sure if we were going to see an appearance from the second Williams, but there is the second Williams. Family affair here tonight with Andre, Skull and Death Queen all making an appearance in the lobby. Drivers in the pits, few more on out lap. final run. To make sure here at Monza that you allow yourself space for that final run. So easy for track to get clogged up here at Monza on the final run. Everybody looking for a slipstream, everybody looking for that optimal position on the circuit. And nobody quite knows what the other one is doing. And as we've seen in the past, in real life, sometimes you get absolutely no improvements on those final runs because everybody's tripping over each other. That's the two Williams. Those two Williams are going to be running line astern for their quick laps. Giving somebody a slipstream. I think it's Skull that's the car ahead, is it? Skull that's the car behind. We're going to switch positions into turn one. Not ideal when you're on a qualifying lap. Skull will continue. Currently in P5. His best time a 19.0. Looking to join those 18 clubs. And Jonas looking to leave the 18 club and become an exclusive member of the 1 minute 17s. Have a caution in sector 2. I think, is that a McLaren? I think it's McLaren that is retired in the pits. That is Top Gun. He has called it a day. What, 14 drivers already down one. Down to 13 drivers. That won't trigger a safety car. Simon Gunn in the pit. If you wanted those average speeds, I've got them for you. As I mentioned earlier, that's disqualification, parked in a dangerous location for Cooper. They'll be starting right in the rear of the field. So obviously on Saturday, Max Verstappen took pole position for the Italian Grand Prix, and it was called the fastest lap in F1 history. There was some confusion because obviously there's lower lap times like that, places like Austria and Brazil and Monte Carlo. That lap time, fastest lap time in F1 history, is based on average speed, an average speed of 264 kilometers an hour. Set that pole lap. Jonas 18.0. We're driving around with the quickest driver on circuit. Skull has gone P2 with an 18.6. That is the end of his session. Bikes and Pantry still have crossed the checkered flag, so they're not going to get an improvement. Let's you still out on track. We're driving with the man who's looking for a 1 minute 17. Look at that, using everything and using a little too much. Immediately on the exit of the Safari, getting off the throttle. An invalidated lap, trying to use too much of the race circuit. Very important here in Monza if you want to go as fast as possible to use all of the race circuit available. It's so easy. Just use a little too much. And that's why it's called being on the limit. Of course, as for the Italian Grand Prix earlier this afternoon, it was also the fastest race in F1 history. Fastest race speed average, 250 kilometers an hour for the duration of the race. And will you look at that? Who's in P3? It's Andre. So Jonas, Skull, Andre. Skull and Andre P2 and 3. Death Queen did get a lap in at the end. It was a 132.2. Not sure if that was a representative lap. We saw things get a little bit complicated in turn one. They stole that toe and then gave up her own lap in turn one. Everybody has crossed that checkered flag. So there are your qualifying results Jonas, nobody got close, 18.0. Then he's followed by Skull, 18.6. Look at Andre, 18.6. And then Spikes, 18.6. Nothing in it. Then we've got Pantry Star P5, Glitch P6, Levy P7, Captain Slow P8, Gunner P9, and Nismo P10. Look at those lap times. 1,000th of a second between P3 and 4. 118.621. 118.623. There we go. That was a very, very short break, and we're back. Looking at an empty pit lane. All of the cars will be to the left-hand side of the screen doing their final checks, their final strategies, their final decisions. What are they going to start on? How deep into the race do they intend to go? And when they look up towards the skies, are they worried about those clouds? Or say worst case scenario is getting surprised by the rain in Monza. A lot of the drivers will set this car up with very, very little downforce. Cars are then locked into Parc Fermé, which means you can't change anything major on that setup. Maybe a few touch-ups to the front wing, but that's about it. So if you have set that car up for ultimate speed and the rain does begin to fall, you're going to have a very slippery, very nervous car. Bit of a lengthy pause here. Obviously, everybody wanting to get that strategy in, wanting to get everything in right. Of course, after this, we get going on a formation lap. Going to give everybody an opportunity to get around the circuit, feel the car with a full fuel tank. Oh, it does feel somewhat different. Of course, if you've just come from qualifying with a very light car and a set of soft tires, and you're expecting exactly the same grip in exactly the same places, well, it's not going to happen. You're going to have a heavier car. I don't know how many drivers are going to be starting on the soft. My prediction, almost none. There's a weirdly long pause. See there on the top left of your screen, still waiting for players. I think that means players have not readied up. As soon as they do, we should get the screen jumping over to the starting grid. Just let me know in the comment section, what do you guys expect from tonight's race? Who do you think the winner's going to be? Jonas going to take that dominance he had in qualifying, translate it into race pace, and just bring the car home? Or are we going to have something more exciting than that? Are we going to have something where rain falls down, safety cars come out, and havoc prevails? While we're here, let me know in the comment section what you thought about the Monza Grand Prix. What did you think of Max Verstappen's drive? What did you think about turn one? What did you think about that controversial McLaren switch? I'm a big Red Bull fan, I'm a big Max Verstappen fan, but I'm also a fan of Lando Norris. But even as a fan of Lando Norris, I do think that today's events were a little unfair on Oscar. Of course, when others have misfortunes, well, that's when you pounce, and that's when you win championships. Aaron made the mistake. It wasn't Oscar's mistake. He had to give the position back. I'm not so sure I agreed with that. It is good for the championship, though. It will take it a little further. Still waiting for things to get going. Not quite sure what's happening on the game. We're still waiting for players. That's the only message we've got. Go over and check the Discord, any messages I've missed. Appear to be anything on the Discord, so we will continue to wait. And I will have to find things to say to fill in the time. Just before the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, there was the Spanish MotoGP. And Marc Marquez's incredible run of P1s finally came to an end. 15 P1s in a row. And that crazy winning streak was ended by who other than Marc Marquez's very own brother, Alex Marquez, finally getting one over his big brother. Pause has finally ended. I was starting to get a little bit worried about that pause. But we are officially underway for a formation lap. As I mentioned, this is a lap for everybody just to get into tune with the car, get a feel for that heavy fuel tank, prepare the tires, prepare the brakes. This is all about turn one preparation. Said I didn't expect anyone to start on the soft, and nobody is starting on the soft. We have a pretty even split down the field between mediums and hards. Man starting from pole position, he's going to be going on the hard tire. Then the next 5 cars all on the medium. After that, all on the hard. Seems to be the trend that drivers at the rear going on the hard, going for a longer stint, and then completely out of sync with the rest of the drivers at the top of the field. The leader going on hard. And that is confidence. Very, very quiet comment section that you know if everybody's still there. P13, P1 says Dixie Killer. Who's in P13? Well, it's Death Queen. No pressure, Death Queen. I know you're listening to the stream in the background. P13, we've seen 2 very impressive drives from that Williams driver just last week. Let's see if those kind of results can be replicated here at Monza. We wait for the 5 red lights. Of course, they will come on one after the other, and when we get 5, there'll be a pause. And when they go out, we will get underway. There we go. Red Bull versus Williams. Who's going to get the better pull-off? Jonas on the hard tire might be under a little bit of pressure here at the race start. He's not going to have the optimal grip. Luckily for him, all the cars behind him doing a little bit of tripping over each other. Not a very good turn one, a little bit messy. Ooh, and that's a Williams in the background. That's a Williams in the background. It's not Death Queen. I thought it was Death Queen, but that's the end of Skull very early on here in Monza. And this is not going to be the fastest Grand Prix of all time, because we have a safety car. If Visor was here, it would be well. Just joined us and you're thinking this is an incredibly long formation lap. Formation lap has come and gone. The race start has come and gone. Turn 1 has come and gone. We weren't able to get to the end of lap 1. Well, that safety car came out. Well. The visor is in the USA. I spent a bit of time in the USA. A bit over a year. On the East Coast. a little bit more popular that side of the world than when I was there. When I was in America, it was, well, quite difficult to watch a Formula One race. By going into a pub and telling them to switch off the football or the baseball or whatever the case may be to put on Formula One, and well, get some pretty dirty looks. Since then, of course, with the likes of Drive to Survive and with the likes of the new F1 movie, it's brought so many new fans to the sport. A lot of those fans from the USA, a market that F1 tried to capture for such a long time and failed time and time again. They were won over by a Netflix show. Not a very good one. Of course, if you're not too familiar with MotoGP, something happened today in MotoGP. Of course, if you're not familiar with the news, speaking of Drive to Survive, biggest celebrity of Drive to Survive, Chris Steiner. He has made the jump to MotoGP, buying KTM Tech 3. Right, he bought the KTM Tech 3 team. Today he was at the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona for the first time with his new team. And, well, they got a podium. They got a podium to welcome Chris Steiner to the MotoGP grid. Spent a long time in charge of Haas. Never got on the podium. First attempt at MotoGP, podium. Killer just saying he missed the MotoGP. Fantastic race. Alex Marquez started from pole. Marquez left nothing on the table. Took the lead into turn 1. 3 laps later, 4 laps later, Alex Marquez took the lead, controlled the race. Just managed the pace. Every time Mark closed the gap a little, Alex would respond. And a very big change of events today was the younger brother who was the dominant force. MotoGP, Marquez GP. When you put the MotoGP and the Formula One car together, Formula One car is going to set a much faster lap. That really comes down to downforce and cornering speed. MotoGP bikes have fast superior acceleration. Of course, top speed on a MotoGP bike was set by Brad Binder a year ago. That's 376 kilometers an hour on 2 wheels. Echo end with it was either P6 or P7. I think it was P7. Not really where the second Ducati driver would like to finish. He'd like to be on the podium. He'd like to be on the top step of the podium. But a fantastic ride when you consider he started P21. Lap 4 of 27, we've already had our first safety car, and now we're back under racing conditions. There's caution in sector 1. Don't worry too much about that. That's a game glitch. Lost one driver. I actually thought Top Gun had retired in the pits. I was incorrect. Top Gun is on a set of hards up in P8. Did see him stationary in the pits, and that was during a yellow flag. I thought that was just a retirement in the pits. We've seen that before. Now we do have a retirement, and now we do have a second safety car. All of a sudden, this is what I mean. Strategies go out of the window. Jonas just 4 laps on the hard tyre. Safety car comes out. He's forced to come into the pits. Change tyres. Now it changes everything. Play it by ear. Very, very frustrating for the quick drivers on the circuit. The drivers who don't quite have the speed to win the race, well, they love this sort of thing. It mixes it up, gives them an opportunity. Every single time there's a restart, there's an opportunity for big mistakes into turn 1. Every time you have a safety car, your race comes back to life. You're one of the cars at the front. This is terribly annoying. What you want to be doing is opening up the gap at the front, managing your race. Out, backs up the queue. It's going to keep things tight to carry on this way. Being told to push up into P5. 4 laps on that medium tyre, so that's the tyre she started on. Not chosen to put on the first safety car or the second safety car. At this stage of the race, we'll tell how many more of these are we going to have. I said it earlier on, a lot of these drivers are going to be running as little downforce as they possibly can on these cars. And sometimes all it takes, hitting the wrong curb, putting a tire on the grass, that's the wrong part of the race circuit. So in some parts of this race circuit, the walls come awfully close. Of course, on the original Monza layout, right here in turn 1, we would join the oval, do 1 lap of the oval, and when coming around on the oval, they would join the main straight, do 1 lap of the track as we know it. When put together, it would come up to 10 kilometers. I'm quite sure the FIA would approve those banked corners today. Very first Italian Grand Prix in the debut season of Formula 1, 1950, hosted at the circuit, won by Giuseppe Farini, an Italian driver. Who knew? Here's an interesting fact: it wasn't won by a Ferrari. It was won by an Italian team, but not a Ferrari. Aston Martin was a dominant force in Formula 1, taking the initial 1950 and 1951 championship. Only in 1952 did Ferrari take over at the front. The championship was dominated by those Italian teams until the English realized cars can go a lot faster. Put the engines in the back. Off we go again. Captain Slow's going to lead us this time. Skulk in P2. Remember, no overtaking till the start-finish line. And hopefully everybody gets turn 1 right, because we've had enough safety cars for just 7 laps. Showing caution in sector 3, but that should really disappear. Captain Slow leads the way. Skulk in P2, Pantstar in P3, the Ferraris 1 and 3. This would be a fantastic result. You know, there's a long way to go and a lot of quick drivers at the rear of the field. One of those quick drivers at the rear of the field in P8, looking to make his way through the field. He's got past Gunner, now up into P7, and he's not going to waste much time trying to get past the Sauber. Not yet. Looked at it, thought about it, stuck the nose out. and just thought better of it. Tucked up right behind that Sauber. Gonna do it into Ascari. Is he gonna do it on the exit of Ascari? Thought about it. Thinks better of it. Just stay right on the rear wing of that car. Follow him all the way up the straight, getting the slipstream. You're not able to do it into Parabolica. You're gonna do it with DRS on the main straight. Will you look at that? Fantastic helicopter shot around Parabolica. You're wondering why it's called Parabolica. Parabolica in Italian means dish. It's shaped like a dish. Well, at least according to the Italian. The Queen up in deep. At the front. Ferrari 1-2. Oh, how the Tifosi would love this Ferrari 1-2 in Monza. When was the last time we had a Ferrari 1-2 in Monza? We're going to have to go all the way back to 2019, if I'm not mistaken. That was a Charles Leclerc P1, Sebastian Vettel P2. Exactly the same result happened one race before that. Charles Leclerc in Belgium went on to get his very first victory. Vettel finished P2 in that race, and then just a week later, Charles Leclerc went on to pick up his second victory. And looked like he was off to a complete flyer. Things have just stalled a little bit since then. Leclerc just 7 Grand Prix victories to his name, or is it 8? 7 might be 8. One of the two. Not a good stat to have when you have well over 20 pole positions. That's a lock-up. Straight into the back. Skull not going to be happy with that. He's not only going to lose a handful of positions, but we also saw carbon fiber flying off that car. So not only has he lost position, he now has a broken car. Probably going to have to return through the pits to get that fixed up if he's going to have any hope of bringing this car home. Otherwise, he's going to feel very uncomfortable in that Aston Martin. Riding with Captain Slow, still leading this race on 8-lap old hard tyres. And look who's in P2. The Williams of Death Queen, splitting the two Ferraris. They were 1-2 not so long ago. Now the Williams has inserted itself into that Tifosi battle. Pantry Star P3, Jonas. He was quick in qualifying, and he was so quick in qualifying by huge margins. I said if he was able to translate that pace into race pace, there would be no competition. So far, so good. Coming through the field, cutting through it like a hot knife through butter. Another position, this time the Ferrari of Pantry Star, and that's a Ferrari off. Ferrari off. He's made contact with the Red Bull. Yes, that Red Bull is intact. A bunch of cars literally just tripping over each other, opening the door to Jonas. Don't need any help getting into the lead. But I think he'll say thank you very much. Thought in the comment section for Spike. Thought in the comment section for Pantry. Currently the driver in P2. Captain Slow in the other Ferrari. He led the race for quite some time. He's fallen back. Had an issue that turn 1. We saw that Ferrari going off circuit. And so shortly after a safety car means all of those cars are bunched up together. You leave the race circuit, you're not losing one position or two positions, you can find yourself at the rear. Great view of the cars coming out of Parabolica. Pantry Star following Jonas. Stay within that 1 second. Now, opens up DRS to see if he can get closer to the Red Bull, and suddenly he'll see a Williams flying up on the inside. 1 minute, just thinking about how do I catch Jonas. Next minute, like, how am I going to get Death Queen? Coming under pressure again, this time from Spikes in P4. Got a set of hard tyres, just 6 laps old. Fancy Star 10 lap old mediums. Wonder how much further those mediums will go till they have reached their peak and gone past their peak. Spikes applying the pressure, just half a second in between the Ferrari and the Aston Martin, opens up DRS. Fortunately for him, the Ferrari with a 3-second penalty, first penalty we've seen this evening. Jonas leads the way. Death Queen in P2. The drivers in P2 and 3, they need to put 11 lap old mediums. They've started the race on. Mediums will be in great condition. Like, once those mediums go off, like, should be able to make these overtakes. For the time being, not able to make up any ground. Stays Jonas, Death Queen, Pantry, Spikes, and Andre. Let me know there in the comment section what happened. Skull. There's 0 laps on a set of mediums. Havoc at the Temple of Speed. Compared to the race we had this afternoon, which was really straightforward start to finish, no interruptions, no safety cars, no virtual safety cars. If there was that spin, that would have given Red Bull and Max Verstappen a heart attack at the end of the race. Luckily, both those cars were able to get momentum and get on the move, and we didn't get a late safety car. Otherwise, that would have been a very, very harsh race for Red Bull. Red Bull won this afternoon. Another Red Bull looks like it's going to win this evening. Panterstar leading the wrong driver, but that is Panterstar in P3, and the Ferrari following Death Queen. 7/10 of a second is the gap. Spikes also in that DRS battle. Jonas has cleared at the front, 1.8 seconds. Jonas will want no more safety cars for the remainder of the race. I think the other drivers wouldn't mind 1 or 2. Just to keep Jonas within reach. A little further down the field, we've got Glitch in P5, also coming under pressure from Andre just behind him in the McLaren. We go to the second half, having a bit of a lonely race is Levy. 17 seconds behind Andre, that's almost a pit stop. And then 5 seconds ahead of the next driver, so he's going to feel like he's got the racetrack to himself. Can be quite easy to fall into a bit of a lull when you're all by yourself. Your mind might start to wander even for a moment. And the next thing you're going to find yourself off the race circuit. Concentration is key. Consistency is key. Of course, when you've got the full package like the driver in the front here, consistency, concentration, and lots of speed. That's the top 3. That's the 3 you want. All the other drivers, they might not have the speed, they can try and perfect the other two. That means any mistake from Jonas, you will capitalize. And we start into the pit. Particular, if you're there, how do you feel about, we have no MotoGP Grand Prix. We have 3 South African riders in the sport. In Spain, well, they've got 4 Grand Prix. Italy's got 2. That's 6 rounds between just 2 countries. Seems fair, doesn't it? Back under the safety car. All sorts of havoc happening here in Monza. The first safety car happened on lap 1. We barely got going off the restart before the second safety car came out. We've had a bit of racing since then. Now we've had our third safety car, and this plays havoc. Plays havoc with the drivers at the front. The drivers at the rear, well, they were having a bad race already. They're going to take anything that gets thrown at them. They will love this situation. Drivers at the front, so frustrating. You put in the laps, lap after lap, going quicker than your opponent. Build up that gap. And just like that, all the work you've done gets wiped out. Killer saying he's hoping for F1 in South Africa. I think if we were to get Formula 1 in South Africa, then I think MotoGP would actually follow very quickly. Of course, some other circuits around the world, circuits like Kota, circuits like Portimão in Algarve, they actually got the MotoGP Grand Prix first, proving to host the event so successfully. Went on to host Formula 1 races. South Africa has officially put in its bid. Kyalami 2027, put in a bid for a 3-year contract that would obviously go through from 27 to 2030. Fully backed by the private sector and has full backing from South African and Gauteng tourism. Got awfully close to having a South African Grand Prix not so long ago, but fortunately, the owners of Kyalami got a little greedy. F1 walked away. Hopefully this time, do it right. The last Grand Prix ever to take place here in South Africa was all the way back in 1993. All the way back in 1993, that was the last South African Grand Prix. That Grand Prix was won by Alain Prost. Senna was the second. The name a lot of you would know was the third, Mark Blundell. Very far back when I first started watching F1, and those teammates, they confused me each and every weekend. Mark Blundell was teammates with Martin Brundle. Martin Brundle, Mark Blundell. Did host the South African Grand Prix, I think, from 1967 to 1985. F1 cancelled the 1986 Grand Prix due to South Africa's political ways. It returned to the calendar in 1992, but had a brief return to 2 Grand Prix, 92 and 93. The contract was supposed to go down to 1996. Cancelled after just 2 events. The bankruptcy of the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit, then bought over by the AA, Automobile Association here in South Africa. They had no money for F1 in 1994. Took a They wanted to keep the track alive. F1 was not part of their plans. All of the calendar, we haven't been back since. And here's a weird stat for you. That final Grand Prix that happened in 1985, well, that was won by Nigel Mansell in a Williams Honda. And on South Africa's return to the calendar in 1992, it was won by Nigel Mansell, this time in a Williams Renault. The 1992 and 1993 podiums both featured Ayrton Senna. Both of those races ending in bad luck for Michael Schumacher. Schumacher, two South African Grand Prix, never went on to finish one. Still under safety car. Jonas at the front of the field, 2-lap old mediums, Death Queen P2, Spike, Panther Star, those three cars all on the hard compound. Next medium runner is Glitch in P5. We've got Captain Slow P6, he led this race at a stage. Gunner P7, Andre P8, Bolt P9, he was just challenging for the lead of this race not so long ago. Top Gun P10 and Levy in P11, the only car running outside the top 10. We've lost the rest. Remember, you're not going to always get the safety car notification for safety car in this lap. It is broken in some way. You're going to have to watch the safety car in the final sector when you see it suddenly and dramatically pull off into the distance. And the drivers have got that notification. And Jonas immediately gets into backup mode. Field together to take control of the race as that safety car comes in. Decides when to go. I get to jump on the rest of the field. The Death Queen right on the shoulder of the Red Bull. There's almost Max Verstappen-esque. Almost going side by side at the restart. Progression at the restart from the Williams. Nice to see. Williams will be going on the hard compound. Jonas going to be going on the medium compound. For those initial laps, Jonas should have the advantage. And we know he doesn't need a tyre advantage. He's got a speed advantage. Is that a car off the track in the background? It is a car off the track in the background. I think that's a Ferrari in the grass. In the safety. We do get underway. Jonas leads the way from Death Queen. Spikes in P3, Panther Star P4. Then we got G and G. That's Glitch and Gunner, 5 and 6. So, 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. A harsh one. He's coming into the pit lane just after a safety car, which means this entire field is bunched up together. He's going to lose between 20 to 25 seconds in that pit stop if he's changing his wing. And it means when he comes out, he's almost half a minute behind the rest of the field. That's going to be nicely bunched up together with a few laps to go. Drivers at the front want no more safety cars. Captain Slow will be hoping for at least one more. Said he'd come out 25 seconds adrift from the field. In a little bit more than that, 27 seconds adrift from the field. Gonna have all the clean air he wants. Brand new set of tyres. All he can do is throw absolutely everything at absolutely every lap and hope for the misfortunes of the drivers up the road. Death Queen still following closely within DRS of the leader, then Spikes also within DRS, as is Panther Star. Top 4 drivers all in the DRS queue. And Glitch and Gunner, 5 and 6, Andre 7, Elk 8, Levy 9, Gun E10. A situation like this not so long ago where only 11 cars finished the race and I was the driver in P11, I can tell you it's extremely frustrating. You're the only driver on the grid that finished the race and did not pick up a point. in the 90s when I started watching F1, the point scoring system was, well, very, very different. Only the top 6 cars scored points. It was only 10 points for a victory, 6 for P2, 4 for P3, and then it went down 3, 2, 1. If you were able to get your car up into the points, P6, you'd only go home with 1 point that day. This was at a time when there were 26 cars in the field. Getting up to P6 was rather impressive, but it was only worth 1 championship point. Changed that to the top 8, and then to what we know today, top 10. Looking at the battle for the lead, all of these cars still within DRS. Jonas, Death Queen, Spikes, very much within DRS. Then the gap has started to form. The Ferrari down in P4. Glitch P5, Andre P6. Gap there between 5 and 6. Andre made some sort of a mistake. Big gap and then few of you are watching on the stream, so everybody who's watching live, everybody who's listening live, I hope you're enjoying the stream. Of course, this is the finale of SKR Season 12. This is the last one. We get to do it one more time, not for SKR, but for SAFRL on Tuesday night. We'll be doing this circuit as well. That's going to be the finale for that league as well. Look at this in P2. Death Queen, P2, holding on to the back of that Red Bull. Jonas should have the tyre advantage in terms of compound and age. Death Queen doing just enough to stay behind that Red Bull. And if those mediums do lose a bit of their gloss right at the end, this track could come to the Williams driver. For Spikes in P3, he's got even fresher hard tyres. In fact, he's got the freshest hard tyres on the circuit. Should have the best tyres at the end. They're very close. Pantry Star 7 laps, Spike 6 laps, Death Queen 8 laps. Tyres do go off the cliff at 1 extra lap. Makes a heck of a difference. A caution in Sector 3. Quick look over to the minimap. Luckily, we don't see a yellow minimap. So you know it's safe cars when that whole track lights up in yellow. And we know we've got another one. We're not quite in that safe zone just yet. Of course, the safe zone only comes in lap 25 of 27. We're not there yet. 22 of 27. We've seen a lot of safety cars, not one virtual. And at the front, Jonas continuing to hold on to the lead. They've been in second, applying the pressure, keeping the Red Bull driver honest. It's going to open up DRS. If it's going to be brave enough into turn 1. Very, very tight corner, and you've got to place that car just right. Then your opponent's got to be willing, otherwise things can end up very, very badly. It's going to follow the Red Bull around for the best spot. Had another retirement. I think that retirement was in the pits. You can see a horse in the pit lane. That means no safety car triggered. We can keep going, and everybody who finishes this race will finish in the points because we're down to just 10 drivers. Seen it many, many times before. As the league comes into its last round, second last round, numbers start to drop. Some of the drivers see that a good championship result is not possible any longer. They tend to find excuses to stay away, but I can tell you that when season 13 returns, when SKR returns for season 13, we're going to have a very eager grid. Everybody's eager when the slate is wiped clean. Death Queen continues to apply the pressure. Still no overtake. Looking for that overtake. Difficult position to be in. You're behind a driver that's leading the championship. You're behind a driver you know is quick. The last thing you want to do is make contact. You want to get past. You've got the speed. Almost waiting for a mistake. When it comes to Jonas, mistake. Sometimes you can wait the entire race for that mistake and it's not going to come. Speed on debut in the sprint race. Podium on debut last week. And now, second race at SKR. Applying pressure on the leader. 0.2 of a second as they enter Parabolica. Fantastic. Right in the inside, touching the inside curve, then to the outside of the curve, all of the race there. Open up DRS. And second, wonder what kind of jump is running through. It does get closer, but how are you expecting DRS? That extra vacuum that pulls you in is just not strong enough. Getting awfully close at the end of the DRS zone. Not close enough to go side by side and mount an overtake. Tell you nobody has settled for position 25-27, so we're now officially in that safe zone. There can be no more safety cars, there can be no more virtual safety cars. If there's any more retirements, regardless of where they are on the circuit, that car will just simply disappear from the circuit. We'll get a brief yellow flag. We'll be back to full racing. Jonas still leads from Death Queen, from Spike. Star still very much in the battle. Here he is in the background. 4 cars in frame, struggling for the lead. Star doesn't want to be the car in P4. He wants to be on that podium. The Monza podium. Put one of the Scuderias on the podium. Today, if I'm not mistaken, the Ferraris finished 5 and 6. 4 and 6 rather. I can tell you that was the first time a driver has won the Italian Grand Prix from pole position since 2019 when Charles Leclerc did it. Death Queen was still following the car in P2, doing everything right to stay with the leader. Needs to find that little extra. Death Queen opens up DRS again as they head towards Ascari. You can see so close on the entry. It's going to take something crazy. It's going to take very late braking. It's going to take an absolute overtake that no one saw coming. Jonas, just don't think he's going to make the mistake. Lap 27 of 27, and look at that. Into the lead. Into the lead. We didn't get a camera view of it, and that is so annoying. But we didn't get a good angle on that. But Death Queen has taken the lead into turn 1. Lap 27 of 27, not a long way to go. Red Bull look towards the inside, showed her a nose. Death Queen lap 27 of 27, not a long way to go. The Temple of Speed. About to add a new name to its winners list. Of course, a South African has won the Italian Grand Prix in a Ferrari. was Jody Scheckter. Well, that was only world champion. 27 of 27, around Parabolica for the final time. And the winner of the race, Death Queen. Jonas over the line in P2, Spikes over the line in P3. Pantry Star would have been hoping to put one of the Scuderias on the podium. He got awfully close. Glitch comes over the line in P5, followed by Andre P6. The Sculpt finding his way to the finish line. He led the race, or was in second place at a stage. And we wait for Gunnar. WWWWW coach. Absolutely. Death Queen takes the victory for the final race of the season 12 calendar. What a season it's been. He's slow. He's going to get that 10-second penalty because he did not serve it in the pit. So that'll be added on to his race time. Fortunately for him, I don't think he's going to lose a position because Top Gun was 25 seconds behind him. And that, folks, is your season finale. That was the Italian Grand Prix. Quite a few of you in the stream. If you guys enjoyed it. Let me know you enjoyed the stream by leaving a like on the video. Let's get through these final results. That is quite the podium, Don. So let's go through the results one final time. There we go. Driver of the day, that's going to go to Death Queen. Most overtakes are going to go to Death Queen. And the race winner goes to Death Queen. Spikes gets the fastest lap. And the cleanest driver on the day, that's going to go to Glitch. The final results, Death Queen takes the victory. Fantastic drive. Fantastic coaching. Jonas, P2, started in P1. I don't think he's going to be too disappointed with that. Spikes, P3, Pantry Star, P4. Then we've got Glitch, Andre, Skulk, Gunner, Captain Slow, and Top Gun. 4 DNFs, Lebby, Cooper, Nismo, and Skull. Well, folks, we're done. That was 12 rounds of SKR Season 12. The season has come and gone. I remember all the excitement at the start of the season. And look at that, 12 weeks have passed. Of course, now we do return on Tuesday. Not the end of the channel just yet. Return on Tuesday for SAFRL here at Monza. Same race circuit. A lot of the drivers, they do cross over between the two leagues. Some of the drivers who didn't have a fantastic race tonight, well, maybe they can right the wrongs of the past come Tuesday night. Of course, that will also be a finale for SAFRL. And there will be a few weeks break. And we're going to be back for Season 13. Of course, we're also going to be back before Season 13 for driver draws and everything else. But till next time, I want to thank everybody who watched. Remember to leave a like on the video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so that you can get a notification every time we go live. Thank you very much. Le grazie, le grazie. And until next time, cheers.
The pain, Daniel, Pierre, and Alex rising up again. Red Bull's got its titles, but these boys paid the cost. In the dust of melting keys, their dreams ain't fully lost. swim. Ooh, yeah. Engines roar, lights go dim. Yeah, yeah. Drama's high, hearts are race. Ooh, feel the heat, feel the pace. Oh, yeah. Speed and thrill, never slow. Zoom, zoom. Champions rise, they all know. They know. In the night, we come alive. Oh, SKR, we will drive. Drive. SKR at 6. Feel the ride.
5 seconds, it's a joke. A joke. Think you have to leave a space. All the time you have to leave a space. GP2, engines. GP2. Ah!
You've got a fire burning deep inside, a spark in the dark where your dreams collide. They'll tell you to stop, say the road's too long, but your heart keeps beating to a rebel song. Take a step, don't look below. Every scar's a story, only you will know. The weight of the world can't break your stride. You're carving your name where the stars reside. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky.
Are you crying?
The ground may shake, but your roots run deep. Every fall you take is a promise you keep. The doubters will fade, their voices will break, 'cause your soul's on fire and it's yours to take. Run through the rain, chase the endless fight. Every dream you claim lights a spark in the night. The horizon's calling, it's yours to claim. A warrior's heart with a fearless flame. When the shadows call, when the nights grow cold, you'll find the strength in the tales untold. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. Stand tall when the thunder roars, break the locks, kick down the doors. Every step is a battle won, your story's just begun. Oh, let it soar, forevermore, forevermore. You can rise to the sky, touch the edge of the flame, write your heart in the light, let the world know your name. No chains can hold you, no storms too wide. You're a legend in the making when you rise to the sky. So keep on climbing, don't ever slow. The stars are waiting where the brave ones go. You'll rise to the sky. Yeah, you'll rise to the sky. A legend in the making till the end of time.